So as an artistpreneur, what are some things that you think are important so you don't become or you're not a starving artist? I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby. Everything about you. Don't you dare walk away from me. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate. We're talking today about the business of music.
Wow.
The music business.
I like to call it the artistpreneur.
Artistpreneur. All right. What a special topic. Artistpreneur. You and I, really, one of the ways we met was through music.
Yeah.
We were just both interested and had similar goals as it related to doing music, producing something, being creative. I always say everything is created or consumed. Spend more of your time creating than consuming. And so, Steve, I guess I feel like you're more the expert in the room as it relates to this. You have a nice resume as it relates to music. You've done several live performances. You have several projects out. To my one project. You've worked with major artists. You have friends that are in the industry. You have records that you've written and done vocals on that have been on the Billboard charts. So as an artistpreneur, what are some things that you think are important so you don't become or you're not a starving artist?
This is a dope topic. And the reason why it's dope is because, a lot of people, they want that kind of notoriety of being a starving artist. Like that used to be the thing. Like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm strictly only doing music.
No plan B.
No plan B. I'm not eating.
Yeah.
I'm not bathing. I'm in the same clothes.
9 days.
Yeah, bro. I can't do that. But it allows you to, especially independent. Like people don't talk about what goes into being an independent artist because you have no machine behind you. And when you don't have a machine behind you, you're self-funding, unless you have an investor, you're self-funding your career. And in order to do that, you have to be making some money.
Yeah.
So to be a starving artist and not have any money is dumb. And, I want to tell whoever's doing music, not stop making money. If you're working, continue to work so you can fund your career. It doesn't make sense to stop working, give up your, your things, your job or whatever it is that is funding and that's bringing in cash flow for you to stop that cold turkey.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that. When people are like, well, you left and went to California with $2,500 in your bank account. Yeah, but I struggled when I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it got to the point when I relinquished all that bread, I had to figure out how to make more money. You know what I mean? Especially living in LA. So it's not nothing that I don't think is wise as a independent artist. Now, there's so many more things that you can do that will give you the freedom to be able to fund your career.
Yeah.
Uber, Instacart, Lyft. There's and these are just things that don't allow to pull at you as far as having a boss looking over your back. Like these are things that you can do independently. You are a independent contractor. That's what you are when you're doing these services.
The gig economy.
The gig economy. So those are just little ways to keep money in your pocket and then allow you to free up your time to be able to record. Now, I recommend people to learn how to record yourself because you're going to save so much more money instead of paying for studio time.
Okay.
And I think that is crucial.
How long does that take to learn how to record yourself?
I mean, it's not hard to record yourself. That part of it is not hard. Now you have to learn if you want to start throwing, like stuff on your vocals, then you got to learn that aspect of it. But as far as push and record, it's that. You know what I mean? It's just the habit of being quick with it. And that's just reps. That's just the timing of how long you've been doing it. But it's not hard to record yourself. You know what I mean? And you of course you just have to just learn, but once you get into the habit of it and it's
So how many projects do you have out? Was it 10, 9?
I have maybe 6 projects out and a lot of singles.
What are you most proud of as it relates to your artistpreneur career?
As far as like what I've dropped?
What are you most proud of? Any piece of it? Anything you worked on? Anything you've performed at? There's so many facets to music. So
yeah, I think
you could just pick one.
I think the most thing that is just the independent grind. To know that all the music that I've put out, I own.
Did it yourself.
I did it myself. Self-funded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not really, I don't want to be that way. But as of right now, that's where it's at. You know
would have rather have worked with a label or?
Yeah, I mean, it's always better to have a machine behind you. And really, at the end of the day, it depends on what?
Always better to have a machine behind you.
I think so, for sure.
What about with the guy like, who's that guy you put me on? White guy.
Russ?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, and he had a machine behind him.
Oh, he did? Okay.
So now it worked in his favor because he still was independent, but he had some money behind him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, and when I say machine, it could be a label or it can be a big bag. If you got a big bag, that is the machine,
right?
Because it allows you to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that just that whole independent grind is, something that I take pride in because it's not like I can say, someone gave me this,
right?
You know what I mean? Like from the equipment that I've got, from mixing and mastering, all of that has been self-funded. I've paid for all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's dope.
And, you know what I mean? No one can take that away from you. So, I think that's something it's just special in itself because it's hard being an independent artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't have, everybody wants the notoriety. Everybody wants their, I want the world to hear my music.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know that I produce great music. You know what I mean? And I think that it's just a matter of time before, it gets out there to the masses. And it's just a harder grind because you're independent. Now, when you have that label behind you, then they're going to put it in everybody's face.
Yeah.
So, it's just timing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's timing. And I think that, just over time, you do dope stuff. Like you said, the record that we did with Jay Brown, 2 Billboard records independently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's huge.
Yeah.
And I take pride in that. I take pride in just being self-made when it comes to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a tough grind and a lot of people don't they may not see what goes on behind closed doors, but behind closed doors, stuff is getting done.
Right. No, that's dope. I'm proud of the work that we put out. Shout out to Andrew, Jonathan Ziemba, and Mike at the time, but then Alex has been our guy who's performed with us. But that was way back in 2019. That was the last time we officially performed.
Nice.
So, and we did a totally different style of music, wrote the music perform the music. It was really a mashup, like a funk, and I was really happy with that because I self-funded, to your point, did it all like without any sort of help. And, you get a chance to kind of produce what you want. Now, our budget, we was using somebody else to record, and we was recording live instruments, so the budget was a little tight, and I think you can tell in the project that some stuff didn't get that post-production edit in it. But I feel like if we would have went full tilt, I would be even more happy with it. But I still have hopes and plans to produce more music because it's like I said, everything's created or consumed. Like when you create something that's your own, it's just super cool.
Yeah, it's different.
Who's an artist you respect? Probably who's a current artist you respect, and then who's some artists you think folks should be on the lookout for?
Artists that I respect. I mean, I respect a lot of artists, man. We talking about R&B or what?
Oh boy, we talking about whoever you want to talk about. R&B,
I think
gospel, hip hop.
I think
country, bluegrass.
So on since the whole independent grind, I think LaRussell has. I think he has the trophy right now with high respects because of the way he's pumping out music and how he has built his fan base organically, independently is truly special. And when you have people like that have the blueprint, him, Russ, it's dope to see that because it's like, oh yeah, there is hope for independent artists. And really, I can say that LaRussell is, because I don't know really the ins and out of Russ's deal, but before I do know that he was independent. He was dropping a song every week, dropped 52 songs in a year.
Really?
And that's how that's how he
went up.
Yeah. So, but LaRussell right now, man, how he's pumping out his content, his music. He got it right now.
That's what's up.
And it
looks like they said he's released 21 albums.
21 albums
since 2018. That is wild.
Yeah, he's been going crazy.
That is wild, and that just goes to show when you focus on something.
Yeah.
If you're the best in the world at something, the world will come find you
for sure. And then independent rap.
This new artist or what is
no?
This
he's been out. Don Tripp.
Okay.
But I mess with Don Tripp super heavy. He's dropping, I don't know how many projects he's got. He's been dropping like projects every other week. So, I don't know where he's at, but Don Tripp is he's special. He's special.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's dope.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. But some artists to...
Okay, that's somebody to check out. So if y'all ain't heard of LaRussell or Don Tripp, LaRussell or Don Tripp.
And this is just on the independent tip. There's definitely more.
Independent guys, they hip hop.
Well...
They rap.
LaRussell, yeah, they both rap. Okay. Oh, well, I said, yeah. So R&B artists, man, I have to say my boy Jay Brown.
Jay Brown, yes, familiar with Jay Brown.
I would have to say
J. Brown.
I don't know if who's really on the independent R&B. But that's neither here nor there. But as far as artists, let me look at my thing. Let me put y'all on some.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Jay Brown.
Let me put y'all on some.
Jay Brown has the song "The Art of Love Making." Just came off a UK tour.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So some R&B. We'll just throw little snippets up for y'all to see. Kenyon Dixon, super dope. He's actually on tour right now. He's actually going to be here in Charlotte on Thursday. That's what I was telling you about earlier. Kenyon Dixon, Lucky Day. I don't know if people are hip, but Lucky Day is super crazy.
He dropped something new. He been out for a minute though.
Yeah, he has. But people are still, they still catching on, the late bloomers. And let me see what else. I'm trying to go to my playlist that I made.
Kenyon Dixon.
Let me see.
It's always cool to be on the cusp of something. Somebody new that everybody ain't on yet.
Facts. Alex Isley.
That's a cool name.
She's retarded. Crazy.
I'm guessing there's no relation there.
No, she actually is. Her
Really?
uncle is Ron Isley.
Wow. Alex Isley.
Yep. So she's super dope. There's a guy named Dixon, Dixson. He's crazy. I'm on a heavy Eric Bellinger wave. Don Tolliver is super hot right now.
What about your boy? Has he put out anything recently?
Who? Ro James.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's working. He's about to drop a new project. Just getting those records together.
Don Tolliver, you said?
Don Tolliver is crazy. Who else? Man, so many people.
I know that there was some artists. I ain't been following music like that.
The Sacred Souls. They're a super dope band. They're the ones that, can I call you Rose?
Yeah. Trying to enter.
I don't know the words, but yeah, their album is awesome.
That's dope.
But yeah, that's just a few that's
dope. Oh, I think you gave us some stuff to listen to.
Yeah, for sure.
I have not listened to any of those folks. I'm too busy working.
I feel you.
Wealthy Thoughts.
I'm working too, but I put headphones on.
I'm working too, but it's very easy for me to put on headphones and continue to do my work.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's dope, man, because, the music industry is one of those things that's huge. It's a huge machine, like you were saying. And if you can find some good people on the cusp of something cool, you kind of be a tastemaker ahead of the game.
For sure. And I love that for the simple fact of seeing an artist glow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, dang, I've been following this person for so long. And there's so many artists. I didn't even name all the people, but there's so many artists that you just see their come up. And it's just like the reason why they're going is because they're staying consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what
stay
hard work
consistent. So, that gives the hope, because it's like, oh, I just seen, I've seen these persons go from here to, so it's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? And everything's about timing. But in the meantime, I'm going to be getting to the bag.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for people to know. It's like, yeah, you still can have your job and record.
Or if you, I don't know, putting out 21 albums or a song every
They're in
week.
workload. That's heavy workload.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
Workload.
And that's a longevity play, because eventually, you're gonna get to the point where you might put out another 50 albums. Now you have 70 situations. So, when you're long and gone, that's just gonna continue to accumulate. And that's generational wealth. Because now you got 70 projects that,
do some royalties.
And streams. And so, I think it's just important for artists to know that, it's possible, number one. Number two, you just have to be strategic on how you're doing your music and cut your costs. if you don't have $100 an hour or $75 an hour to go to, these studios, create your own. Yeah. Learn how to record yourself, because then that's where you save the money. Now, of course, your investment is going to be the equipment, because that's important. But people are recording from home now. People are not going to these big studios no more. They're saving that bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just seen a clip with Larry June. He's like, man, I only put like $4,000 out to do a project, because he's recording himself. He's recording at the crib.
Yeah.
And then he just sends it out for mixing and mastering.
He make his own production too?
No, he has producers.
Okay, but as far as this,
but so they send them stuff and he'll write it and blast it out. Yeah. But that's just the wave right now. You know what I mean? And people have to learn, because you're not even making that much money in music.
Right.
Let's just keep it 100. If you're not these big artists and you're not touring and doing all of this crazy stuff, it's tough to make money. The stream is only so little.
Yeah.
1 million streams is not what you think it would be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just upped up the royalty stream, but it's still pennies.
Yeah, the jig is up.
You know what I mean? It's still pennies. So
you're not making what you think they would be making.
Exactly. There's a lot of artists that are not doing like you think that they are doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's just important for artists to build the community, because once you have the community, once you have the fan base, those are the people that can fund your career.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
Good,
and you're dropping stuff. Like it's more than just the music. You need to be having merch.
Yeah.
You need to be doing little shows. You know what I mean? Doing stuff for people to do with the music, making it something where people feel like they're a part of what you got going on.
Right.
And that's just proof in the pudding. You see people winning off of building the community base. So
I love it. Singing is a cool thing. Doing music is a great thing.
For sure. I love it.
I guess one little drama question. Can a person do gospel music and secular music?
Yeah, they can.
Should they?
They definitely can. I struggled with this, because when I first started doing music,
Ty Tribbett says they can't, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah. I struggle with this because, growing up in the church and people know that you can sing, they're like, well, why don't you just do gospel? But it's like, I was the type that didn't want to straddle the fence. Mm-hmm. I loved R&B music. Like, this is the type of music that I wanted to make.
Yeah, I want to make this music. Actually.
Yeah, so, but it was funny because my parents especially, but then when I started to drop the music, and it was like, now they love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I definitely think that the whole straddling the fence of secular music, I think it's just your approach. PJ Morton did it.
Yeah, PJ Morton did it.
And you know what I mean? Fine. Like, and I love him as an artist.
Me too.
You know what I mean? I love his gospel artists. I mean, I love his gospel album.
Yeah.
And I love his R&B stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think we're just in a new age now where it's just like, being a creative, there should be a box on that.
Yeah.
And if you want to put out a gospel album, put out a gospel album.
Yeah.
If it's going to touch people, you know what I mean? Kanye did it.
Right. If it's real and you love
and that
what
album,
you're singing about.
Sunday Gospel Choir album is amazing.
Yeah.
He dropped 2 of them, 2 amazing gospel albums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't, it's just tough. You know what I mean?
It's like, are we putting limits on people, or is God putting limits on people?
100%. He gave you the voice, and you're using it to touch people's lives. That's how I look at it. Because I can touch you. If I can touch you musically, gospel or
R&B,
rhythm and blues, then I'm still using my voice as an instrument. I'm still using my as my gift, and the gift is touching people.
Yeah,
my artistry is to touch people. So that part of it is just tough because it's
people be trying to find a way to make their own rule. Like, that's you find that a lot in religion and in the scripture. Mm-hmm. People have always tried to find a way to these is our rules. And on top of what the Bible, yeah, we think that, but let's put a little more rules on it just to make sure that we do. It's like, are those your rules or are those God's?
Yeah.
Are you the savior of the world or is God? Like,
for sure.
Who are we trying to please here? We're trying to please your preferences, you know. So I think you can. If you were to ask me the question, I definitely think you can. And I think people gotta, you know, many times they gotta work out their own relationship with God and understand 100%. What straddling the fence means in their situation, in their season, in their country, in their culture, and you know, there's a lot that goes with that. But it can be a slippery slope. There could be times where you doing stuff you shouldn't be supposed to be doing, but you also could be eating stuff you ain't supposed to be eating, or watching stuff you ain't supposed to be watching, or saying stuff you.
It's the same thing. But
it
people
applies
like
to everything.
People like to, you know, no
Single
sin
out.
is greater than sin is sin.
Right.
So there is no like, oh, okay, well, you know, I don't know, man. That's a tough, and I know it's a sticky convo for people because
it's real sticky for
you
folks.
know,
Not for me.
No, it's not. And now I think the biggest thing growing up in that was not caring what people think.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. And this is the type of music that I want to make.
Yeah.
And once I got out of that, because that was, you know, a lot of times that'll stop you.
Yeah.
That'll almost cripple you from putting out music. It's like, man, I got this music, but I'm scared what people gonna think because I'm talking about love. I'm talking about some sexy stuff. Like, once I got out of that and what people, I think that's just in general. Once you stop caring about what people think about you, turn up.
Turn up.
You know what I mean?
You need to be focused on you and God. And if you got a pastor, you can listen to your pastor and follow that leadership. But you also can go directly to God.
For sure.
And
I have pastors that listen to the music.
Yeah.
So it's like
come on,
it's just tough. It's just tough because you can't please everybody. And someone's gonna have something to say, and it's just like, okay,
that's the biggest thing.
You be respectful and say, you know, thank you, and keep it pushing.
Right. You cannot please everybody. You cannot listen to what everybody got to say. And I'm, you know, in the Bible right now, I'm reading Job. And, you know, when Job lost everything and he was supposed to be like the most perfect person ever, all his friends was just basically coming and talking to him about everything he did wrong. And at one point he was basically like, shut up. Mm-hmm. He's like, I know just as much as you. It's funny because he's literally, basically, they don't say it like that, but it basically could. Like, shut up, everybody else. I'll talk to God for myself. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to listen to what everybody else has to say about everything. Because you let people's opinions will control your whole life if you let it. And you'll be sitting somewhere stuck. Well, I don't want to do. Shh.
Yep.
That's a good one, man.
Sure. Keep plugging. All the independent artists, all the artists out there in general, keep plugging. Keep putting out music, keep putting it out to the world. And, you know, timing is everything. And when it's your time, just be ready to shine.
Boom. That's it. Wealthy Thoughts, another episode. I'm your boy, StephenMotivate.
Yes, sir. Steve James.
Stay motivated. Peace.
I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby.